We were founded in Canada 125 years ago by a great visionary. The world moved much slower back then, but we set our own pace. We expanded into Asia and the United States. We grew fast, geographically and financially, turning from a privately held stock company into a global financial leader. From Toronto to Tokyo, from New York to Hong Kong, from Boston to Beijing. As the world accelerates, we keep our pace. As economies change and markets expand faster than ever, we don't just keep up, but once again, we charge ahead. We don't follow developing markets. We lead and succeed. We keep a close eye on new technologies, investing in them as they emerge. And we don't just listen to the needs of our clients today. We create products and offer solutions that answer those needs for tomorrow. Our strong, reliable, trustworthy, and forward-thinking practices move at a pace one step ahead of the world's. 125 years have gone by fast. The next 125 will move even faster because we're here to set our own pace.
I had the great privilege of being a director of Manulife for over 20 years. And throughout that period, I've always felt that it's been a value-based company. It's a strong company, it's a reliable company, it's trustworthy, and very importantly, it's a forward-looking company.
Manulife is at the top as one of those companies whose brand means trust.
It's a fine company, very well led, and with really good people who take very seriously doing business the right way.
You've got two companies, Manulife, 125-year-old company in Canada, and Hancock, which is a very venerable business in the United States, and they run them as one business. And I think that really says a lot, not just about the company, but I think it says a lot about the nature of our relationship.
I think in any organization, it's the people who set the organization apart, the tone that's set from the top, from the CEO to his senior executive team, to the people right through the organization.
Don sets the tone of the values that he wants his institution to have.
Part of the success that Manulife has had, particularly in Asia, is a sensitivity, I think, to the cultures and the way business is done in other countries.
Manulife has contributed to the livelihood of many Indonesians. It has not only created jobs, but also provided various services needed by the public through insurance products.
I think it's quite admirable, the degree of success he's had in building the company in the last few years, particularly outside of Canada, of course.
Manulife first came to Japan in 1901, at the beginning of the 20th century, and they came back again in 1999. So I would rather say that 2 centuries were opened by Manulife in my country.
Manulife is a role model for companies that want to do things internationally. They are trusted. I think it's absolutely no coincidence that in the Hong Kong market, Manulife has been designated as the most trusted brand for 9 years in a row.
Manulife covers a lot of businesses in China, not only in mainland, but also in Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan. And they have been doing very, very well. And in China, they had a very good cooperation with Sinochem. I think this is one of the models, in China's development, because it turned out to be so successful.
Manulife has moved into Asia with skill, with concern, with a proper degree of risk management, but also with an ability to relate to local circumstances, to adapt to local circumstances.
They know China, they understand China. So this is a key factor for the successful business in China.
I think part of it is foresight. It is getting into places around the world maybe before it was fashionable to do so. Part of it is taking the experiences and the quality of the work that they do in their home markets and export it to another country.
Here's a great Canadian company with great Canadian leadership in the person of Don and his colleagues. And you want them. You'd be fortunate to have them doing business in your country. They know the business and they're trustworthy. They're Canadians. They're okay.
Canadian companies are very welcome to my country, and I hope that they follow the good example of Manulife.
Don arrived probably at one of the most inopportune times for a new CEO.
Right in the crux of that financial crisis. It was hitting the entire world. And so that leader made tough decisions. Turns out they were the right decisions because you have to look at the long term.
We did not circle the wagons and pull back from everything. We did not panic, and we continued to invest and grow in the areas that had promise for the future for our shareholders.
They've been challenged, as all of the life companies have been, by low interest rates. And they seem to be weathering that storm by expanding their businesses in the most growing, populous part of the world.
He very quickly recognized and moved forcefully in the area of risk mitigation. And above all, I think throughout the piece, he was extraordinarily ethical and would not make short-term decisions that impacted long-term value to the shareholders.
Donald not only came in the aftermath of the financial crisis, but also there were very important international policy developments underway. One was on the accounting side, and the other was on the regulatory capital side.
He really was one of the first business leaders to fully understand and appreciate the full implications of that. And as one of those forerunners, it causes others then to say, all right, if Mr. Gloyn has picked up on this, then there must be something there. And sure enough, the implications of this can be enormous.
When we as a board look back on the decisions that were made in the short space of even 6 months after he took over, you see the wisdom of some of the changes that were made, and in fact, they were very effective, but taken very quickly.
Given what happened in the financial world, I think we're all blessed that Don was the choice we made.